Hey guys, Will Little here, and as you can probably tell, we're introducing a new segment in this video. We're calling it Wednesday Wisdom. Obviously, it'll be released every Wednesday, maybe not every Wednesday, but we're just using this segment as a placeholder between main episodes. If there's a longer amount of time between guests or if there's a scheduling conundrum of some sorts, then we'll make a Wednesday Wisdom episode or two. This segment will probably be about 5 minutes in length, and I'll just talk solo about recent news, interesting research, or just some thoughts that I've had that I think would be beneficial if more people heard them. So I hope y'all enjoy these shorter episodes, and if you find the content interesting, you can always contact us to be a guest on the show to talk more about that. All our contact information will be in the description below, and as always, enjoy the episode. So today, we're going to talk about politics, everybody's favorite subject. So about a week ago, I was listening to a podcast, and the people on there were talking about how extreme leaders aren't good and provide more detriments than benefits, since most people are moderate. Therefore, moderate candidates are a better representation of the people's beliefs, collectively speaking. That led me to ask myself the question, how do we combat radical presidential nominees? Just as a little disclaimer, I haven't done a whole lot of research on this subject, so if I say something that's flat out wrong, don't hesitate to point it out in the comments. So, this is a political strategy that I've devised to answer this question. In order to combat radical presidential nominees, we need to vote our favorite candidate of our unwanted party during the primaries. Now, you shouldn't vote opposite in the actual presidential election, but I am saying it may be beneficial to vote opposite in the primaries as to give moderates more delegates and to ultimately select more moderate presidential candidates. This is more convenient for Arkansans since Arkansas has open door primaries. So what that means is you don't have to vote for a certain party just because you're registered with it. If you're a Democrat, you can vote Republican or vice versa. So hypothetically, let's say you identify as a Democrat. Wouldn't you much rather have a moderate Republican running against a radical Democrat for the presidency than a radical Republican running against a moderate Democrat? In the case of the latter, in which you would have a radical Republican running against a moderate Democrat, then the expected value of the candidates' ideologies are going to be skewed right, assuming both candidates have an equal chance of winning. And the chances of your beliefs being represented executively are going to be hurt. So why does voting for your favorite candidate of your unwanted party during the primaries work theoretically? It adds more votes and delegates to a moderate candidate as opposed to the party's preferred candidate, which could turn out to be a radical one. So if everybody did this, then most everybody would prefer a more moderate candidate of the opposing party, and this would take power away from the radicals. Think of it as infiltrating the opposing party to promote your beliefs there, which is where they're most needed, in your opinion. So here's an analogy to help you better understand why moderates are a safer bet than radicals. Would you rather flip a coin where landing on heads means you win $1 million and landing on tails mean you lose $1 million? Or would you rather flip a coin where $100 is the bet? Most everybody would choose the second coin because they can't afford to lose $1 million. Same thing with presidents. We can't afford as a country to have radical presidents because once one is in office, some media companies side with him or her while other media companies despise him or her. This just affirms the beliefs of radicals and causes more division among the beliefs of people in the nation. It also gives people more confidence in their beliefs and leads them to have less open-mindedness. This obviously isn't the best method for choosing competent leaders. Ideally, the American people would be educated enough to pick the candidate that most aligns with their ideals. You know, they do extra research on the candidates of their party and other parties, and they listen to different media sources as well. However, unfortunately, many just mark Republican or just mark Democrat on the ballot, or what's even worse, they just mark whoever they've heard most on the news. Media companies aren't doing the U.S. any favors by not objectively interpreting the news. As I said before, they're only creating more division for profit. So really, this whole episode is just something interesting to think about. Again, please let me know your thoughts in the comments, and thanks for listening.